Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa. Ndudu natives, welcome Miawezolu. Munam mumbra nyeba nwohu nini una exactly. It's Ndudu by Fafa. Let's throw it down with the much awaited Wagashi recipe, which is the only Ghanaian cheese that I know. And thanks to the Fulanese of Ghana, we end up with this beauty. Now, this cheese is also enjoyed in Nigeria. So I'd say, yeah, it's a West African cheese then. Exactly. Now, I will leave the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog, fafagilbert.com. So do check it out, and I'll leave a link in the description box for an easy access. So now let's start. I'm starting with an organic whole milk. You need that full fat milk. Yes, this one, it goes into the hips straight away. I know. So first things first, we are going to be boiling our full fat milk. You can use your fresh full fat milk as well if that's what you have access to. Now, the milk that you get here in the shops in the UK are pasteurized, yes, to a certain level. So if you do have like a freshly milled cow, yes, go for it. Exactly. Just follow this process. So what I'm going to do is bring this to the boil. And as you can tell, I've got my little dodgy wooden spatula here, and I'm just mixing everything together. Traditionally, the plant Calotropis procera, which is also known as the apple of Sodom, is what's used as a coagulant, which is turning liquid into a solid or semi-solid state. Now, in the absence of that, one can use distilled white vinegar. And I've tried other recipes as well, and I can't wait to share those with you. So this is going to act as the coagulant. So we're going to turn this beautiful liquidy milk into a semi-solid state. So immediately I introduce the distilled vinegar into the hot milk, by the way, you will notice that a curd will be forming, and yes, it will separate itself from the whey, which is the watery part of the milk that remains after the formation of the curd. Now, please note, at this point, my heat is at its lowest setting, and I'm gradually mixing everything together just to make sure that the distilled vinegar is definitely mixed through the milk so that I can get enough curd. Interestingly enough, I think I used over 2 point something pints of milk. As I said, I'd leave the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog, fafagilbert.com. But the amount of curd that you extract from this is not that much. After simmering for 5 minutes, cover your pot and turn the heat off. After 10 minutes, I checked it and it was still warm. But the beauty about it is the curd had formed and it separated itself from the whey. And you can see it's thicker. And you'll notice that I'm gently poking it. Yes, because I do not want to disturb this. Exactly. And you can even see like the vapor coming through. May I say steam? Yeah, one of those ones. So after another 10 minutes, yes, it has cooled down completely. And at this stage, I'm going to strain this. So to a bowl, place your strainer and insert it with your cheesecloth, because we're going to be extracting the curd away from the whey. We're separating the two. And gently pour your mixture into the cheesecloth, as you can tell. So at this point, what I'm going to do is, extract as much juice as I can out of my curd. So I'm going to lift my cheesecloth, as you can see or tell here. Yes, and I'm going to, twist the tip of the cheesecloth, and that would add that extra pressure and extract as much juice as it can from the curd. Now, after that, what I'm going to do is place this in another bowl. Now, please do not throw the whey away. Yay, whey away. Yes, because we will be using the whey again. We'll be boiling it add a little bit of salt, and then we're going to be salting the cheese. Now, you know, when you're walking by the beach and you see your seashells and stones, I saw these stones and I've had these for years. And I grabbed them, absolutely. And they came in handy because I'm using them as a weight to weigh the cheese, and that would extract as much juice out of the cheese. Now, I left that for about an hour. And then after an hour, you end up with this beauty. Now, you know, one would say, yeah, you know, squeeze it with your own hand. But I've tried that recipe, and then it made for an extremely dry, sort of like Wagashi, and that's not what I wanted. I needed it moist. I needed to technically get it right, you know. So yes, it's just naturally done it. And because I've used that organic full fat milk, you know, what you see in the middle there is that fat that is just, you know, come together in there. So yeah, after about an hour, here I have my Wagashi. But now we need to add that flavor. We need to add the salt. So as I mentioned, do not throw the whey away. So here in my saucepan, or to my saucepan, I'm adding my whey. And I'll be adding some salt, and I'm going to bring this to the boil. Now, this is another tip and trick that I found whilst making this. This recipe requires a lot of patience, and when I say patience, it's almost like if you rush it, you end up with the rushed results. Yes, but you just want to respect the process. So yes, you might go like, oh God, that's a lot of salt, but it needs that because traditionally, if you taste Wagashi, it has that salty flavor as well. So yes, I'm mixing everything together, and I'm just going to allow this to boil. Now, most people will actually cut their Wagashi at this point and then, you know, add it to the simmering water, which is okay, by the way. But however, when you take in the pieces out of the saucepan, the propensity of it scattering is high. Yes, and I will prove that much later in this video. So what I prefer to do is wrap my cheese back in its cloth and then pour the salty whey over it. I then cover it with a cling film and leave it for it to infuse for up to an hour. Now, once it completely cools down, what I can also do is refrigerate this. Yes, and I can refrigerate this for up to a maximum of 3 days. Bearing in mind, salt is a natural preservative. Exactly. And you might go like, oh yes, will the water not be too much? Would it not infuse? I did try it and it didn't. So yes, and that's why I have carefully gone through the process with you. Exactly. Now, in the UK, we are like going through this lockdown thing. So anything that you can make that you can preserve for much longer and enjoy, you know, when you're feeling a little bit down and homesick, you know, you can cheer your Wagashi and enjoy it. And it might just bring that little smile to you. So here, after an hour, this is what I have exactly. And I will be taking the Wagashi out of the cheesecloth, and you can tell exactly as to what it looks like. Exactly. Look at that. This is not any other food. This is Ndudu by Fafa. Now, if this is your first time and you haven't subscribed yet, I hope I've given you that reason to do so. And also to activate your notifications, yes, to all. And that means you do not miss any future videos. And to my loyal subscribers, thank you ever so much for giving me this platform to be able to express my creativity to you guys. So now here we have a PS that is a stones notification gang. Look at what's it doing? Hey, what are you saying? Yes. And now I'm going to be cutting it into my preferred shape. But look at that. It's packed, but it's still moist, and it's just beautiful. Now, when I did take it out, I allowed it to just, you know, air dry just for about 10 minutes, yes, before frying. Because if you end up frying it immediately, you'll end up with a very watery, scattery sort of cheese, fried cheese. Basically, that's what this is. And so, yeah, here we have it. So I'm going to show you the difference now in pouring your whey over the cheese and then cutting it, and placing the cheese into your simmering salty whey. I allow this to simmer just for about 5 minutes, turn the heat off, and then when you take it out of the saucepan, this is the sort of texture you end up with. It scatters exactly. So that is why I prefer to do it the way that I have done it, but the choice is yours. So now it's time for me to do some frying. So to my saucepan, I've added my oil. You can use any preferred oil or any oil of your choosing. And here I'm going to be frying the Wagashi. Exactly. We're almost to the end. Ndudu by Fafa. Ndudu by Fafa. Koba Ndudu and Yukwelu. Fafa. Come on, Ndudu. Now Fafa. I love the flavors. Now, one thing is, when you're frying the wagashi, you need to keep an eye on it because it browns quickly. Exactly. If you do not keep an eye on it, you're going to end up with a slightly burnt, overly crunchy wagashi. But then again, if that's what you prefer, then that's it. So I allowed it to fry for 3 minutes on one side, and then I turned it over and fried it for 2 minutes on the other side. And that just gave it that beautiful, even color. So at this point, this is ready for me to take out. Exactly. Is your mouth watering? Absolutely. Look at that. This is not any other Wagashi. This is the Ndudu Wagashi. Look how beautiful that is. And here I'm serving it with some suya. Yes, you can also use this in making your salad, soup, stew. You know, the possibilities are just endless. But look at this. Are you inspired to try the recipe? If you do like what you see, please do not forget to smash the like button. Absolutely. Leave your comments below, share with your family and friends, help promote this channel exactly as we move to the next stage of Ndudu by Fafa. As I mentioned, I'll leave the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog, fafagilbert.com, so do check it out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Ndudu by Fafa, so pass by and say hi. Noel, thank you very much for my theme song. And until my next amazing recipe with you guys, take care of you, be nice, be beautiful. Please protect yourselves. Yes, wear your mask, sanitize your hand, drink enough water, boost the immune system, and try and intentionally place yourself in a happy environment. Yes. So create that mood. Be intentional. Yes. Me, I always say, I love you for you. Hello again and welcome to Ndudu by Fafa.